forests, and massive trees. So far in our journey, we've witnessed some of the biggest and oldest: western hemlock, red cedar, giant sequoia, Sitka spruce, and redwoods. Part of the way that trees grow old is by growing up slowly. When the mother trees are upbringing their young saplings, they're in these tight-knit communities, and they not only share resources, but their canopies prevent the young saplings from getting too much sunlight, allowing their growth rings to become tighter together, leaving less room for moisture and disease to enter in and make the trees sick. Trees are also the most productive after several hundred years of growth. In order for a forest to become old, we need to be aware that tree thinning, logging, and recreation all have adverse effects. And the best way to help a forest grow old is to leave it be and let it live out its days naturally. So today we are waking up in Tahoe National Forest, and we are traveling inland for the first time, I think the whole month, right?
Yeah.
So we spent the whole month of August just along the Pacific coast, and it was really beautiful. We were in some of the last remaining temperate rainforest in North America, and we also were in some really beautiful old growth redwood tree stands and forests. So old growth and the forest are two things that are really important to us, just because of how much they give life to so many countless other beings. They give us air to breathe, and they store carbon, and so we just really value the forest, and we kind of see them like we see trees as individuals, and it's just become like so much more apparent since we've been traveling in this part of the country. And we've both been reading this book by Peter Wohlleben, The Hidden Life of Trees, what they feel, how they communicate, discoveries from a secret world. And this book has been kind of transformative, at least for me. I don't know about how you feel.
Oh yeah, it's definitely been a really enlightening book, for sure.
Yeah, and it's just this this German, like this retired German forester, and just he fell in love with trees and wanted to learn more about them, and discovered all of these scientific findings as to, you know, kind of why modern forestry practices are not sustainable, and how, you know, letting trees grow old is so much better for both them and for us and the planet, as opposed to just planting a lot of young saplings and clearing them at a really young age. Forestry, to me at least, kind of falls into the industrial, agricultural way of, you know, harvesting. You're not like really giving these trees a chance to live out their most meaningful life and give back to us all that they have to offer. So, yeah. What are your thoughts?
On
just like old growth, and maybe, I know we were both feeling a lot in the redwoods when we hugged some of those like 2,000-year-old trees.
Yeah, the trees were, I mean, the redwoods are massive. All the old growth stands we were in, they were much bigger trees than you ever see back east, which was really neat. I mean, trees that are 20 feet in diameter and like almost 400 feet tall. You certainly feel like you're in their world, in like this mystical, magical world of giant trees, and you're just this small being. But they, they really felt resilient. I know old growth forests, they have a lot more resilience to things like pests and fires and, environmental stresses. And I know in Vermont, Vermont's history is that at one point, like, I don't know the exact number, but 90-something% of the forest was clear cut at one point for sheep farms, or just other farms. And none of it, there's only a couple really small patches of old growth forest back in Vermont. So it's been really cool to wander through these bigger patches of old growth and to catch a glimpse as to what a forest looks like when it's really allowed to just, grow and adapt and become, something more true to what it wants to become, So it's been just totally awesome. I mean, I wish there was more old growth left back east. It's sad that clear cutting has been such a huge part of our history, and I know even out here, it's just a fraction of what there used to be. We were reading in the Redwood State Park that there used to be 2 million acres of old growth redwood forests in California and Southern Oregon, and now there's only 100,000 acres. So we've certainly altered the landscape quite a bit.
Yeah, and just, there's so much potential for old growth. I mean, all of the coal and oil that we extract from just the depths of the earth is basically just the humus that, continues to kind of become compressed and decomposed over time. But they're basically like from trees like 300 million years ago. And so the trees offer us really valuable resources, and just kind of learning that from this book at least, and from some of the parks, that the myth of being carbon neutral is really a myth. Like, most of the carbon that is stored underground, because the trees kind of breathe in carbon dioxide to grow, and then they exhale oxygen, but they kind of keep this carbon stored in their underground just like forever, until you extract it. But the idea that we're burning as much as that's being re-released into the atmosphere is false, because only a small amount of what the trees take in is released back into the atmosphere. So if you think just about climate change and, kind of the crisis that we're facing on our planet right now, the trees, like massive reforestation or just leaving, the old growth alone, would be a huge solution, and we wouldn't even have to do anything. We would just have to leave them alone and kind of set our greed aside, or focus more on renewable. But yeah, so it's interesting just how much they do for us. And I think I even read that the redwoods store 3 times more carbon than like the average tree, and they continue even to store it a long time after they've like fallen down. So it was pretty beautiful just to see this, like, as Peter would call it, these carbon dioxide vacuums at play. And yeah, I mean, just appreciate their beauty and how they offer habitat to so many, you know, species, from mammals to, you know, really like microscopic creatures. And it kind of, this book to me is like the older version of the Giving Tree. It really just like, you know, kind of like it puts the trees in this context of, you know, being this real entity that just keeps on giving. Like, and, you know, as humans, we take and we take and we take, and it's like the trees give so selflessly, and, you know, this reciprocal aspect in nature feels very present in the forest. And it was just very nourishing to be, you know, among the ancients, if you will, and just kind of envision a world, you know, where we respected our elders more. I guess that, you know, could be both with the trees and the human race too. But yeah, old growth has been something that's been on my mind ever since I picked up this book, and we really just saw a lot of it for the month of August as we traveled down the northwest coast. So we kind of wanted to share that. And also I've decided, you know, to donate a percentage of support that I get for my art to the Rainforest Conservation Foundation in British Columbia, Canada. So I just chose, you know, one of the conservation organizations that seemed like they were really doing a lot to protect some of these ecologies and habitats. And so yeah, if you're wondering why, at least for me, it's so important, these are just some of the many reasons. But yeah, now we're just going to be traveling further inland and saying goodbye to the coast and goodbye to some of these incredible forests.
Yes, and saying hello to the Sierra Nevadas and the desert in Utah.
Yeah,
so that'll be different.
Jumping from dry swaths to, you know, little oasis like this. Tahoe National Forest is quite beautiful. But yeah, there's been, as we talked about over our morning cup of coffee, there's always these, like, you know, as Charles described it, these energetic shifts that happen as you
change the landscape you're in.
Yeah, move into a different place.
Yeah. Yep. It's amazing how much the landscape we're in affects the state of mind, or at least I've observed. Every time we make a major shift in landscape on our trip, my state of mind just like changes completely, and I feel totally like a different person the same person, but a different person at the same time.
Yeah, we've just been noticing how much nature really, you know, affects us even on just the cellular level almost. But it's like even when we travel through cities or urban areas, you can almost feel that despair of, you know, how much was destroyed to get it to be that way. And then you can just kind of feel like the different, like the personality of a place almost.
Yeah.
Like this new being that you're coming into contact with and learning about, and, you know, trying to find a way to offer your gratitude and care and respect. So
This is your coffee.
I'll take some of that. Well, yeah, I mean, thank you so much for watching, and these things are important things to us, just nature and our environment, so we wanted to share just a couple aspects of, you know, what we've been seeing a lot of, and, you know, what has really struck a chord within us and kind of deepened our awareness.